And then let's share. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Okay. Who likes this picture, by the way? I can imagine that would be the exact picture if I was to ever attend a Slimming World meeting. And I have in the past threatened to turn up and sign up and sit there and just be a knob and I just want to question them. I want to question these people. Like, how does that make sense? How can you eat as much pasta as you want and it'd be fine? Like, what's a sin? But I just haven't got the bollocks. I don't really want to be lynched by a load of Karens outside the Slimming World. Um, yeah, save that for another day. Right, I'm just gonna get the chat up. Dust. You know what? That Marjorie does, what Michaela's on about there, where they got that Fat Fighters Club. You would never get away with that anymore, would you? That's the pick you use for the TV show. To be fair, last time I did TV, they went deep into my social media and some of the stuff I've said, and some of it was flagged up, say that's a bit close to the edge, that Adam. I was like, I'm not asked. That's me. Take it or leave it. Right, so scales, lies, and slimming wankers. Why the scale is not your progress, and why the weight and the scale weight is the least important of all the metrics that we do in this program. The only reason I get you to weigh yourself is because I use it as your calculations for your calories. That's the only relevancy it really has. Okay? So, the culture that broke you. Slimming World, Weight Watchers, diet clubs built around one number, the scales. Weekly weigh-ins, public shame if it went up, applause if it went down. They turned a flawed metric into your entire identity. It's not a health program, it's a fucking cult. No wonder you feel broken when the number doesn't move. Okay, so quick pulse check. Who in here has been part of Slimming World or Weight Watchers or a diet cult like that in the past? How many of you have actually been there? Leanne, both. Me, all of them. Yeah, yeah. Herbalife. Oof, that's another one in it. Herbalife. When we talk about cults, I've been in within the Herbalife cult, and I can tell you now, very culty, very culty. And I'm talking parties at mansions with car keys in bowls, and I'm not even messing. That's not even a lie. Don't talk to me about cults. Yeah, it's so bad. I used to actually coach one of the presidents of Herbalife, the guy that's like the highest up in the UK, multi-millionaire, and now lives in a mansion all by himself, too weak to leave the house because all he does is drink Herbalife shakes and that thermal tea that they do. That's all he does, and he looks like a skeleton. It's really sad, actually. Um, but he's lining his pockets with people's sadness, so karma, I suppose. So yeah, these clubs the way their business model works, ladies, is they want to confuse you as much as possible so that you feel a need to stay within that place. That's how it works. I can tell you that for fact. So, your scale weight is not your body fat. Okay, and I had the conversation with who was it? April. April got married, as you've probably seen. Been on honeymoon, a couple of weeks, and she said she put on about 6 pound. And I said to her, I reckon my calculations, I reckon about 1.5 pound of that could be body fat. And she was like, what? Like, she was like, where's the rest of it? Like, where's the rest of it from? I said, well, a lot. I said, you've been doing long haul flights, so a lot of water retention, a lot of swelling. You've been drinking a lot of alcohol for the past couple of weeks, so a lot of sugars, again, retaining water in the muscle and the glycogen. I said I could name off about 5 or 6 different things where that weight could be coming from. But the fact body fat does not increase by 6 pound over the space of 10 days. And I did the maths for her and said you would have had to eat about 6.5 to 7,000 calories every single day since you've been away. And I don't think you've done that. So the scale measures everything. Okay. Fat, muscle, water, food, waste, inflammation, organs, bones. It's a very blunt instrument being used as a precision tool. And that's the problem. So there's so many different factors to what contributes to our actual scale weight. Okay. So a £2 drop overnight, unfortunately, at times doesn't mean you've lost £2 of fat. £2 gain after a great week doesn't mean you've failed. The real problem, stop judging your progress with broken equipment. Okay. Let's have a quick pulse check in the comments. Who's ever had a really good week and either their weight hasn't changed or the weight might have even gone up a pound and it's made you lose your shit? Like you've been really furious, in fact. Yeah. Happens, doesn't it? Well, hopefully this seminar's going to make you feel a lot better about those times. And I've had it the same, but in the reverse at times. So when I've tried to increase lean muscle mass and put a bit of weight on and I've been on a bit of a bulk, I've been eating 6,000 calories a day, eating when I'm not even hungry, training like an absolute bastard, resting properly, like doing everything I could. And I'll get to the end of the week and I might have lost a pound. And I'll be like, fuck sake. But I'll look in the mirror and I'll look better and I'll feel better and I'll be stronger. So all of the right metrics have moved. But even I, with the knowledge and experience I've got, can look at the scales and feel a bit like, fuck's sake, that should have gone up. And we have to stay logical about this, okay? So here are the main 6 reasons why the scales lie, okay? So when you're talking about weight and scale weight and getting annoyed with the scales, there's actually more, but these are the 6 main contenders of why your scale weight could be affected. Number one, probably the biggest one, is water retention. So if you've been eating foods with high sodium levels, if you're dehydrated, or carbs, it can add 4 to 6 pounds in a single day. Yeah, 4 to 6 pounds, nearly half a stone of weight gain can happen in a single 24-hour period. And this is not body fat. This is your body doing its job. It's not fat. Okay. It's holding on to water. It's holding on to glycogen levels because you're either not hydrating it enough or you've been eating foods that are dehydrating you, high sodium foods. Okay. Hormones and your cycle, another big one. And you know what, ladies? You lot do my head in at times with this one. And I'll tell you why. Because you know, and most of you know, that obviously when it's that time of month, when it's coming up to your cycle, you are very bloated, you're retaining a lot of water, hormones are all over the show. And you'll do your weight and you'll still get pissed off with it. And you'll even tell me, like, put your hand up if you've ever done this to me, where you've messaged saying, look, it's that time of month, really bloated, but I'm still pissed off that I put a pound on this week. Mental. Because look again, in the 7 to 10 days before your period, estrogen and progesterone causes 2 to 5 pounds of fluid retention. Lost rapidly after. This is hormones, not failure. So if you look at them first two there, one's between 4 and 6 pound, one's between 2 and 5 pound. That could equivalent to like 7 to 10 pound in a day if your hormones, if it's that time of month and you're holding water, if you've been eating high sodium or you're dehydrated. Okay, that's huge, isn't it? Number 3, stress and cortisol. If you haven't already watched our seminar that we did on stress levels and cortisol, I would definitely recommend going and watching that because it's a really important one. Okay, so chronic stress elevates cortisol, causing fluid retention and increased appetite. You could train and eat perfectly and the scales go up. Your body isn't broken, it's protecting you. That is a protection mechanism. Okay, so we've got water retention, hormones, stress, and cortisol. That's why it's important that we keep the sodium levels down. It's important why we hydrate, why I'm constantly banging on at you to drink more water. Why I always tell you when it's that time of month to relax your ass. And the fact that it's just, it pretty much rapid after you'll finish your cycle, it'll go. And that's why we talk about managing stress levels, especially at the start of the day. Really important. Okay, next 3. Poor sleep. Okay, which we know can lead to high cortisol levels, but it disrupts your hunger hormones. Okay, leptin being one of the main ones that people are using to get by with the fat jabs. It increases cortisol, like I just said, and inflammation. One bad night adds 1 to 2 pounds. And you're not getting any useful data here. You're literally torturing yourself. Number five is food volume and digestion. So food physically weighs between 1 and 2 pounds whilst it's still in your digestive system, slightly more if you're eating a really high protein diet. And when you eat more fiber, it slows down the digestion. That's its job. And constipation shows up on the scales. But again, none of this is fat. It's just another element to why how much you weigh is such a poor indication of real progress in losing body fat and getting in shape. And the last one, muscle glycogen and training inflammation. Okay. And I noticed this is a big one for people who start the program because they've probably been in a calorie deficit for the first time in a long time. They've probably trained harder than they ever have. They've eaten better. And then they put weight on it. You know, it's very common for people to put a bit of weight on in the first week. But this is the main one. So training stores more glycogen plus water into the muscle. And this is strength, not fat gain. Hard sessions also cause micro damage. So your body kind of sends fluid to repair. That inside that fluid, there's all the elements to repair your muscle. But the scale's going to go up. That's adaptation working perfectly. So all of these have a part to play. Okay? It's all your body doing its job. It's doing exactly what it's meant to do. But none of these equate to fat gain, which is the thing that everyone's worried about when they look at the scales, right? Right, let me just catch up on messages. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Kelly, guilty. Malaysia, yeah. Beth. Yes, you fucking would. Hey, Veronica. Um, yeah, sleep's a big one. Sleep's a big one. Hey, Veronica, try some CBD. Might help. So, what Slimming World never told you. Their entire model is built on scale dependency. It keeps you coming back. Like I said, their whole business model, and I know this because I've trained many Slimming World consultants, and I use that word very lightly, as they would also. But their entire model is built on scale dependency. Scale goes down, stay to maintain. Scale goes up, you stay to fix it. Okay? It's not a health program, it is a generalized subscription model. They need you to stay confused, ashamed, and dependent. Now, this is the one that really pisses me off because they constantly change the goalposts. Like none of the science and the data that they use makes any sense with any of the true research that's ever been proven. Okay. You know, in what world can you eat as much pasta as you can and that be totally fine when trying to lose body fat? It's mental. A coach who teaches you to read your own body, that's a threat to their business model. And I've even had a client in the past, quite a long time ago, and she said, look, you know, I'm part of Slimming World. I do actually enjoy going. I enjoy the social thing. I actually enjoy the meals that they give me. Like, is it possible to do that as well? I said, well, we can try it. I don't really agree with it at all. I think it's going to contradict a lot of stuff I'm going to tell you, so it could confuse you even more. And long story short, they told her to quit the program, saying that basically Slimming World was all that she needed. Long story short, ladies, she did quit the program and she joined back up probably about 6 months after, and she was a stone heavier and even more frustrated. But I had a lot of respect for her coming back and saying, look, I made the wrong choice. Can we do this again? But yeah, it's such a shit company. Really pisses me off. Um, oh yeah, Pip. You know what? Kelly's mentioned as well. This banana thing. I made a post about this and it triggered a lot of Slimming World people. You'd think I'd be doing these posts just to wind them up, and you'd be absolutely right. So basically, they say now that A banana is kind of a free element. You can have as much banana as you want. However, if you mush it up, it's then a sin. It's like two or three sins. How mental is that? I don't know if you've ever opened your mouth mid eating a banana, but guess what? Before you swallow that fucker, you've just mushed it up with, them things, teeth. So yeah, it baffles me. I could go on all day, but we haven't got all day. So, what we actually track instead. Okay, this is why we do what we do in the program. So, progress photos, same lightings, same time. You know, we do it every month to 6 weeks. I'll ask some people to put pictures in, but the progress photos are so important. Probably one of the most uncomfortable metrics to put in, right? But at the end of the day, ladies, if you want to look better, let's see how we look. It's as simple as that. And those progress pictures have helped so many people over the time I've been a coach because it's really hard to see the changes in ourselves, isn't it? We might feel a change in our clothes, other people might notice, but it's very hard for us to give ourselves credit for the quite obvious changes that are happening. And it's very, very common that I'll get a client who will put their progress pictures in and send me a message straight off the back of it saying, done my pictures, they're in the app. I can't see any difference, bit disheartened. And I'll say, same thing, right, well, let me have a look at it first before you have a meltdown. And I'll put the two pictures together, send them back across to them. And every single time, they're like, oh, right, yeah, I can see the difference. I'm happy with it now. Okay, so progress photos are an absolute gem at times. Body measurements. Yeah, body measurements are important. That's why we do this weekly, because that is going to show a true picture of how your body shape is changing. Because that, when it all comes down to it, it's all shape, isn't it? Visual, yeah, metrics. Like, there's no getting away. If your waist is decreasing, you're heading in the right direction for sure. Strength benchmarks. Are you lifting more? Are you moving better? Are you noticing that the same weights that were once really heavy become a bit more comfortable? Like being physically strong is something that still gets overlooked within these body transformations, I feel. Like being physically strong and fit and capable and moving better, that is quite literally what life longevity is all about. Yeah. Anyone can get slim, but who wants to be slim? We want to be athletic. We want to be strong. We want to be physically impressive, right? In fact, is there anyone in this chat that would disagree? Is there anyone in this chat that would say, you know what? I just want to be slim. I'm not asked about being strong or fit or healthy. I just want to be slim. If you really thought about it, what's more important to you? Energy levels. Yeah. How is our energy? Obviously, energy is something that will definitely fluctuate at times. That's just life, isn't it? However, having good amounts of energy through, the work that we do is something that's still overlooked because it's so important. Okay. Sleep quality. Are we sleeping better? If we're sleeping better, we're going to repair better. If we repair better, we get better, quicker results. Okay. We have better sleep, better energy. These all loop into each other, right? And then clothing. One of the best metrics, I believe, for progress is how your clothes fit, especially things like jeans, things that have got a bit less play in them and you know where they're tight or where they're not and where they fit and where they don't. I think jeans are a really good optic for measuring success. Right, chat. God, that light's dead bright. I just need to put this down a bit. There we go. So, yeah, spell them bananas. Um, Veronica, I'm very guilty. Putting my picks. Actually, I don't know why. Well, I mean, if putting in things trigger you more than it's beneficial, then obviously that it is what it is. But I think it's the ultimate act of accountability, saying, look, this is me. I might not be happy with the way that I look or the way things are right now, but that's why I'm here. That's what I'm working towards. That's what I'm going to change. Kelly, the measurements is what got me last week when my weight was up, but measurements down. Yeah, exactly. Veronica, I look strong, not slim. Yes. Being strong, Catherine, yeah. One look fit, look lean and fit. I was 8 stone starting. I want to gain weight. I'm now 10 stone, look much healthier. Not fat stones. Yeah, love it, Veronica. You've worked fucking hard for that, mate. Stronger, lean and strong. Yeah. I like this phrase, and it could be as simple as this. And tell me if you agree with me, ladies. You want someone to look at you, and the first thing they think is, she definitely goes to the gym, or she definitely lifts weights, or she definitely works out. Do you know what I mean? It can be as simple as that phrase, like, yeah. Because listen, everyone knows how impressive it is to train your way into a good shape, to be physically strong, to be athletic. And being strong, lean, athletic has zero impact on your weight. Okay? At all. So, so how to use the scales, if at all. And like I said, I obviously do get you to weigh yourself each week because I need to make sure your calories are accurate. So, the rules: same time, same day, same conditions, or not at all. Okay? Look at the 4 week trend, not the daily number. Obviously, we don't do it daily. There are a lot of coaching um, programs and coaches out there that will ask their clients to weigh every day. And there is a bit of a pro to that sometimes because you get an average for the week. However, because I know how damaging mindset wise it can be for people to weigh themselves and see a number they didn't expect or didn't want to see, I wouldn't recommend that personally. Never weigh in the week before your period, and never weigh after a heavy training day because of the inflammation, because of the water retention. When to ditch it entirely if the number makes you spiral. And I've done this with clients before. No matter how many times I went through everything we're going through tonight, no matter how many times I tried to say to them, like, you came here to be in better shape, you came here to be leaner, that is happening. You did not once say, I want to be lighter. And there's times where I've took the option to weigh themselves into the app away. And I know they're weighing themselves probably in the background anyway and ignoring me, but I've took it off the app. Okay. The scale is one data point, not your worth, not your progress. It's just one number. Okay. A 4 week trend tells you far more than any single morning weighing ever could. And what I mean by that is if you do your weight on one day, it's up slightly, but you've been putting in work. And you do it next week and it increases again further. And then third week, increase. That's when we'd usually nip it in the bud because muscle wouldn't increase at that rate. Okay. But a lot of times, if you've probably seen in your graphs on your weight, it'll come down, then it'll go up a bit, then it'll come down further, up a bit. And it's always like this. But essentially, there should be a pattern. That's what I look for when I'm looking through all your stats. So here we go. Here are the main attributes to weight gain and scale weight kind of confusion. Water retention between 4 and 6 pounds daily. How do you fix water retention? You hydrate and you stay away from high salty, high sodium foods. Okay. Hormones and cycle 2 to 5 pounds pre-period. How do you get away from that? Is you become a man. That's it. That's your only option, unfortunately. Okay. Stress and cortisol. How do we manage stress? We look out for the stress blockers. So making sure that we're not intaking too much caffeine, making sure that we are giving ourselves time away, time to recuperate, time to relax. Okay. Because again, it adds to fluid retention. Poor sleep. Again, between 1 and 2 pounds due to inflammation. How do we combat poor sleep? Loads of ways. We get to fucking bed earlier. We get off our phones past a certain time. We set up a bedtime routine. We have maybe a hot bath or what's going on here? Sorry, I just want to let these people in. Okay. So yeah, poor sleep, major one. But there's things we can do for this, yeah? We know that we could be doing better to help with our sleep. Food volume and digestion. Again, 1 to 2 pounds in the system, in the body. How do we get around that? We don't. We allow the body to digest, but we be still, we're still aware the fact that that can contribute. Muscle and glycogen, strength gain. How do we combat that? We don't. We fucking embrace it. Okay? If you're gaining lean muscle, obviously it's going to go against scale weight. Okay? The more muscle we have, the more calories we burn, the leaner we're going to be, the stronger we're going to be. Like muscle is the key to long life, right? And then training inflammation. Okay? How do we get around that? Hydration and stretching. Apart from that, you've just got to deal with that pain. You've got to deal with that soreness, right? Right, I'm going to make sure I'm catching up on any chats. Hey, Kaz. No worries, mate. When someone's look, I want someone to look at me and be like, she's changed and she's taking good care of herself and doesn't look half dead like a zombie at the minute. You will get there, mate. Don't you worry. Um, is there any that we've just covered there that you think, oh yeah, that's probably what contributes to mine, or I didn't realize that contributes to body weight increase? Calf, my leg is still sore from one day. You're welcome, Calf. Good workout, innit? But as you can see, ladies, the whole point of this chat tonight is to showcase how many different elements and contributors we have to scale increase. Okay. Because a lot of times where someone will say, well, I've put £2 on this week, I'll always ask them, well, where's that £2 come from? And they'll always say, well, I don't know. So, well, neither do I. And neither do you. So, have you done this, this, and this? Have you tracked your calories? Have you drank your water? Have you done your training sessions? Have you hit your steps? Yeah, yeah. Might have missed a workout, but I've done that. Done it. Yeah, I've had a pretty good week. Well, it's absolutely impossible for that weight gain to be body fat. So, there's something we shouldn't worry about. Okay? Gonna start trying. Honestly, water and hydration is without doubt still the most underrated tool for weight management. It really is. Simply drinking more water each day can help you flush out fatty acids, help with water retention, help you feel more energetic, help slim down body fat, help with muscle connectivity, so your actual strength levels in the gym. Like, it's huge. And all we have to do is drink more bloody water. Very easy fix. Calf and toe for drinking water, wine on the other. But hey, that's the thing though, isn't it, right? If you tell someone, right, you've got to drink 2.5 litres of water a day, and they'll be like, oh my God, I couldn't drink that much. Get them out on a Friday night, they will easily tank 3 litres of booze without a fucking moment's hesitation. So don't tell me you can't drink it. You just decide not to. It's a habit like anything else. It needs to be worked at. Jesus would say it's the same thing. Jesus would, but yeah, no worries, Malaysia. Go and sort the baby out. Um, so yeah, is all this making sense to you guys? Yeah. God, that light for some reason really affected my eyes tonight. Right. So progress is not a number on a scale. Understanding why the scale lies is the first stop to breaking free from the shame cycle that diet clubs built their business on. Track what matters, trust the process. You are not a number. Right. The reason why I put Reagan's results there. Okay, so Reagan, very busy mum of two, struggled with diet clubs, all sorts of fucking dieting pills and supplements. She was a fucking nightmare when she first joined. Right, if you already know the answer to this, and I've used this as an example before, don't say anything. However, look at this picture. Oh, I can zoom in. Look at this picture here on the left, and this picture here. Not in bad shape, but absolutely shredded here. All right. How many, how much weight did Reagan lose over the process to get that lean and that kind of aesthetic body shape and composition? In total number of pounds, how much did she lose to get to that stage? Answer on a postcard. Obviously not zero, Kelly. Jesus Christ, woman. £7. It's grown on me. It's grown on me. A stone, 2 stone, 14. All good guesses. Right. So Reagan lost in total scale weight £2. £2. And she only lost that £2 very right at the end. Yeah. So she's pretty much the same weight in both pictures there. And in fact, to tell you what, let me see. Just hold tight. Because I've got Amy's progress pictures here from when she first started training with me, when we first met, kind of thing. Let me see if I can find it. Um, right, 2 secs, ladies. I'm gonna try and find this picture of Amy. Because when I first met, Amy was a proper like um cardio queen, and I made her lift weights, and she's like, I don't want to be heavier. I don't. I said, well, just trust me. I'm a professional. Um, get out your knob. All right, give me a sec. It's here somewhere. There we go. Oh no, we've got a couple. Bear with me, ladies. It is here somewhere. Eh, where is she? Maybe you need to look further away. Right, I've got one. I've got one from a much more recent one. But I'll show you this one anyway because it gives you a bit of an indication. Uh, oh, I found it. Right, check this out. Right, so as you see Amy here, the first picture, she weighed 8 stone 9. The picture in the middle, she weighed 9 stone 3. The one on the right, she weighs 10 stone 2. And now she's sitting about 10.5 stone. Okay? So as she stands today, she's 2 stone heavier, 2 stone. Okay, £28 heavier from that first picture on the left to how she is today. All right, big weight gain to look leaner and be stronger and be in better shape and be in a much better physical position. All right, so does that make sense now? Yeah, just muscle gain, body fat reduction, but definitely muscle change, shape change, strength change, health change, and she's 2 stone heavier. Would you swap that to be more muscular, leaner, stronger, healthier? If the scales went up, would it really matter to you? Like deep down? It shouldn't. But yeah, just want to really kind of nail this in today, ladies, how unimportant the scale weight is. I've lost everyone here. So yeah, exactly, yeah. It doesn't make a difference. Like you said, the weight is a metric. Yeah, Veronica, very similar for yourself, mate. Like we want to be strong, impressive looking people. We want to be able to physically move or do anything physical without the thought of, oh, will I be able to do that? And will I have the strength and the fitness levels? Like the weight is so important when we focus on the real value of getting in shape and being fit and strong, right? Like if you look at the scales one week and they've gone up, you need to be thinking about those 6 elements. Have I been training hard lately? I'm a bit sore. Have I drank enough water this week? Have I been following my calories? Is it that time of month coming up? Have I been sleeping properly? Am I stressed at the minute? So many different things. Okay. Kelly, right? I'm actually going to check in tomorrow and stop. Put weight on them scales. Keep trying to define me. Yeah. Does anyone else feel at the minute like, fucking hell, what have I been so worried about with the scale weight? Like, it quite clearly, it doesn't really matter when it comes to who I want to be, what I want to achieve, and how I want to look and feel. Pip, a bit sore, can barely walk still. Means you're doing it properly, mate. Veronica, I'm working in a DIY store, huge store, all men. You can lift heavier than most of them. Yeah, love that, Veronica. Showing them how it's fucking done, mate. So yeah, I'm really hoping that tonight's seminar really kind of shone a light on the metrics we should be focused on, what should be important to us. All right? I'm benching my dog tomorrow. But the lads at work laughed as they thought I couldn't lift 25k box. They were heavy. One of them struggled, so I rolled my sleeves up and lifted. Yes, Beth. That's what we fucking like, mate. Strong women. Love it. You know what's funny? I'll say funny. I think it's weird. My weight hasn't changed in about 4 years. And I'm not just saying it hasn't changed. I mean, it hasn't changed. No matter what I look like, what I feel like, what training I've done, what time of day it is, what I've eaten, I know I can jump on the scales and it says 14.4. It's so bizarre. I've stopped doing it now because it's messing with my head. Um, but yeah, that's why you'll never hear me talk about weight loss. When I'm celebrating your wins and your results and we post them on the social media, I'll never talk about weight loss. I'll talk about body fat loss. I'll talk about inches. I'll talk about how they look. I'll showcase how they look, how they feel. Couldn't give a shit how much someone weighs. Doesn't make a difference. Right, ladies, did everyone find this useful tonight? I'm going to let you go and enjoy the rest of your evenings. What's this? I'm here seeing here. What's that, Kaz? Is that like decking or wood? Fair play, mate. I know you could drop pictures in here. You're welcome, Kath. Welcome, Soph. Awesome. Cheers, Cal. Yeah, good, Pip. Thank you. A shed. Are you going to build? You're not going to build that shed, are you, Kaz? No fucking way. What's with the carrot? Cheers, Beth. Carrot? You are building it as well, Carrie? That is so fucking impressive. What's with the carrot? That's not a carrot, you did. That's a fish in it. Now you got me looking at Kaz. Yeah, actually, Carrie, what is that? It looks like I'll tell you what it really looks like, but I won't say it because we're still on. Let me 2 seconds.